What's good, soul? What's good? I mean, you already know I'm going to ask you what's popular, you know what I'm saying? But half the time I already be knowing because I'm a part of the creation with you. So if I'm a part of creation with you, I'm an observer and I'm aware of things going on, I can pretty much gauge where you at and where you're going if you're not just tuning in just for information. Because most time, y'all know, we just on each other's feeds just for information. When it comes to your eternalness, you know, you being the soul and being aware of what's true, and sometimes your feed ain't gonna be filled with things of this nature, but I'm here, just like you're here. And there's a point in time that we have to become aware of our true soul. What's our truth? And the things around you, just like the brain. So if you go have brain surgery, a brain surgeon is not gonna look at your brain as you being the person you, right? But that's you. Because he's only gonna see what he has to operate on. So that's just us observing matter, right? So if the surgeon, this is the detail I want you to pay attention to, very close attention to. If the surgeon only sees the brain that he operates on and doesn't see the individual that he's operating on, like all the sequences and all the life experiences that that person has been through. So, and that's a different point of matter that he's looking at, but he has to do a job, you know, not being aware of who or what the person is created out of. Now, to some of you that went past your head, you know, and I know that, but that's just the nature of creation. So, at some point you get beyond looking in black and white, you know, you begin to look at the truth. Because in matter, we go beyond what we can see, is what I'm saying to you. They're only doing their job. They're only seeing the brain, you know, the brain and what they have to operate on. They haven't seen the person and how they think. They don't know the person's background. They don't know the person's religion. All they know is they got to have a job to do on that person. So, Bill, that's what I'm talking about. And just like you saw that, quick little example, how we see matter and us in matter. Don't you know it's a different part of us that we gotta now let come through, soul? Because just of that one example of how you view yourself in the body. Yeah, you, me and you, this body. Because I'm talking to you through a body, soul. Other than that, you probably could hear me if you go beyond your normality of hearing. So, how is it so that some people can look at one another through time and they know what each other's feeling? So, because we've been trained for that. But so once we get beyond knowing each other's personality, fake personality, and you looking at yourself in a fake way, in a fake persona, you know, identifying what people have called you because you have seen yourself in that way, comes a point that you have to back off from that. So, I have. Yeah, because you got to see more than the face. You got to see more than the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, and the aura that the person is, you know, presenting towards you, because we can turn that on and off. So, am I saying that God is a masquerade, a mask, and political adversaries that you have to challenge every day? No, soul. I'm just saying you have to be aware of where you're putting God at. Facts. You know what I'm saying? You got this, soul. This ain't nothing mystical that's too deep for you to understand. But I know. It's just how you see, right? Another example, so I was tired, you know, sleeping last night. And I know I said, how can your body get tired if you're not the body and you're more than what you see? Because you can't be the body and in the body feeling and thinking about the body at the same time while you feel, can you, soul? Then you're more to being. What do you mean, Shantavian? So when I turn the light off and I can't see the bed and I automatically know where the bed is, I believe it's there, soul. I don't see it. That didn't go over your head, soul. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I'm talking to you right up here, you know, because this is kind of personal one-on-one, imano, you know, with you identifying yourself as a different observer. Yeah, observer of who you truly are, soul. Because you didn't see the bed that you lay down in before you turned that light off. You turned that light off, you saw the bed. When you went to go walk to it and then get up in it and lay down, you didn't see it in the dark, but you knew. Your mind created that it was going to be there, and you believed that that matter was going to be there because you put it there, right? Yeah, I put it there, even though you can't see it, right? Right. So it is with the consciousness and the creation of God and us remembering. There are things that are put in us. So I know this to be true. I know this to be true because you attract what you are. You're pure energy as God, knowing this world and matrix as interconnected collectiveness, consciousness. So nothing supernatural about that, but it is supernatural in you because it was put there. Just like you couldn't see or feel it, you have a knowing that at times your awareness goes beyond the creation that you see and you feel, and that has been put in you matters of life that goes beyond the circumstances that has been resolved by human nature. What I mean by human nature, they have gone through theology and transitions of theories to say this is the solution to every occasion or some occasion that you call a problem. So, yeah, there's more to you than that. There's more to you than that matter of senses or consensus of society. So when you go beyond your knowing and you know, like what is your knowing? So you know you're going to get up tomorrow, right? Biblically, they tell you no one knows the day or hour when they're going to leave here. But most of us, plenty of us, we believe it, right? We believe that tomorrow we're going to wake up. We don't ask how, we just believe that something outside of us has geared us up for some challenges that we're going to have to face and achieve and try to overcome, right? We're done overcoming. So because I remember about that knowing that I put in the last couple of seconds that you have inside of you that you can't get away from. Yeah, you can't get away from knowing what's really true when your awareness is online. It's 2026. There's no more mysticality to it. Yeah, you can't say, well, that's a technical difficulty that things are having places and spaces when they're supposed to by happenstance. No, that's not true. So they're in places because we believe them to be. Even though things appear and you say, what is this creature? Creation is happening through you because you're being aware of something new, that you're now seeing, that you haven't seen before, right? All in a matter. Nothing mystical, no, nothing technical. Yeah, just you believing and knowing what's put in you is an actual thing in the physical soul. Yeah, in your physical realm, in your physical time. Because, there's been plenty of illusion. I had to believe, that every time I go pick out clothing in the clothing store, that clothing store was going to be new. Until one day last week, I was talking to an older lady, not an older lady, but a lady, at the gym. And she said, don't you know, with the dressing rooms that the people do try on the clothes, Shantae, all that in the shopping for me, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to shop or whatever you call that, when I have that little fetish. But so, that's not ruined. That was just the truth. You expect something new, going into the old places that have dressing rooms that people have tried on. That's your business, that's your home, that's your relationships. That's all things. They're not new, soul. They're not new, but we try them as new, and we try to act like they're new, you know what I'm saying? It's still the same thing, sequences, patterns, numbers. There's a number of days you're going to go through that. So there's a number of times you're going to try to sit and try to solutionize yourself and say, hey, can I put myself into this? Solutionize yourself, yeah. Clearing out problems that are not even yours. Simple? Yeah, so you got this. This is Shantavian Payne, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to your belief, I talked about your will, a couple of videos back. Will yourself to believe what you know is true. That even though sometimes you may not understand it, and that's the purpose of it, so that you go further into what you don't understand, because you really do. You just don't remember that at the point in time you're trying to get the answer. That means the answer has to come, and you really are the resolve at that time in your searching. That's purpose. This is Shantavian Payne. Y'all enjoy however you enjoy your life as a creator, not just on content, but your whole entire life beyond your videos, beyond you strolling, beyond your interaction with one another. I'll see you soon.